That's unexpected. That's unexpected.
Yes, need a village courtyard to bring these legs not side apart. I need a sword to defeat the guard. Sword and stone, but I move easily. My delicate sections made tighter by squeezing. My windpipe make it dry out. I point to press the sky out. Maximum strength oxy. When the juice in your eyes approximately. Make you look foxy. Flush your boss continuously. By worth bossy. You much that cost me intentionally. Sipping from the iodine syringe. I tattoo blood veins for revenge. My vengeance. Write my name on your back with a box cutter. I soothe the pain with 7 million Celsius melted butter. My utter remote sky shark on your forehead does a nosedive. I'm what you didn't know existed, taking you by surprise. Adjust your eyes. Although you see in triple, I allow my steak knife to move all ripple. I can't encrypt with a simple. Coordinate damage your estate, born through pregnate. Percentile rate, got you open like a cul-de-sac. Dead end, I massage and blend your findings, resembling Teddy Ruxpin. I made his head spin, charged like a rhino. Use gazoon ties to scratch my vinyl. As the face you whips off, 8 like picks drop all you can take. I'll transport through the wake, put red dye in blue lake to play with corners. Lord Soldier Avengers, like raspberry vinegars, bring out the bitter. Establish the difference between sore loser and quitter. You're asking for more. You don't feel me, won't pick it for your strike, get away from my door. And now with 12 tracks scored on Fantastic Four. I broaden and raw cause your shit you try to master ninjutsu and tear the anus off my mailman. Dreaming like Duran, delivering like the journal. You heal far too much like porno. I'm cable accessible. Bleaching MC's eyes makes me untestable. Projecting illusions convincing incredible. My javelin in your voice box. I smoke a hole in your neck and let it rest in my icebox. Toxic fumigations, reenactment of bronchitis. One of my patients, she'll find tendonitis. My mic priceless, passing out tetanus. My puzzles take me hours to complete like Tetris. I use a boa for your necklace. At best it's in the freeway fetch. Look both ways before you cross. The cost, you lost your working technique. Mom just say something dope every time I speak.
Focus on your mindscape, eliminate the time and date. I catch a lyrical virus, escape on my pen, born on papyrus. Sonically created by stylists, unconditionally unique. A single voice relayed through 3 aspects of the triangle, and all the math that entangles, all intersecting angles. Add up to 180, see me on eyes, maybe never fully photographed. Let me retain my walking staff in order to strike the stone. Water from the rock, the temple dome, vision impaired. Leave you indecision, despair, future of the mystery. Detailed in Hebrew history, city skyline, outline of my mind. Or is that yours? I can see the rhyme. Energy is the 5th dimension. Contain yours, that's your lesson. 3 times 360, cipher and triple. Somebody lift me, code speak. 2050, who can see my words? Visually present nouns and verbs. See me in thirds, cause I'm part spirit, part flesh, and part soul. Hard rock, but hard gold. 9 times I triple the force. 27 cubes deep in the course. See me triple your vision. That only serves to strengthen me on my mission. I'm seeing triple.
I got my hand in your face, how many fingers do you see? The number 3 slips off your lip, a surprise, it's only me. Visually affected status, traces without yield. Tune down your disorientation, is my shield in battlefields. I peel eyelids and stuff the contents in my pocket. Till we verse and your visions are loading my wrist rocket. Within the socket I see, nightmares are casting thee. Star Roll Oscar performance to this trio of MCs. Comprised the beast on FIE from Republic to Empire. But no dark side thanks to me, Mr. Vader had to retire. Frozen and solo captivated, pathetic stimulation. Cerebellum computation, rocks lesions in the vibrations. Brain activity, I recite and rehearse. A freestyle of blurry figures and prototypes. Busting verse like sunburst and pleasure flavor. It stands for unification of my art with your voice. You await glorification, but the chemistry lacks every single bonding agent. As in playing basketball, the ref calls you foul flagrant. My man hits a spot on my spot, right to the temple. Migraine restrains cooperation of your tongue with your mental fundamental ingredient in our situational ripple. Perplex parallel and icons in the sight that's known as triple.
Unexpected.
The first pains of birth pangs as we come to the world's end. Time has come to reap the whirlwind, breaking seals upon the scroll, releasing plays of which we're told through the wisdom of old. We see the coming attractions, results equal to our actions. Behold the final hour, the beast comes in peace, but only to devour. Treaties are signed by 2 witnesses die after being much maligned, only to rise from death's grip. Before you slip and speak against my gift, realize things you've never seen shall come to pass. At long last, from times past to future dates, the tectonic plates collide and they create upheaval. Mental telepathy retrieval. See the rise and fall of evil, followed by millennial rule. The prince of fools, vanquished forever in the bottomless pit. But first, the worst that you've ever experienced. Experiments of tragic development, total envelopment, a man's supposed greatness. The beast makes blasphemous statements. A lack of repentance results in trial by fire. The intrusion of ambition and one of desire. The world is coming to a close. Will you be standing in the end, or do you know?
The great tribulation is evil. Earthquakes, future days, world's upheaval. It's your last chance to clarify your evil. Think with your spirit, now it's home serene. The great tribulation is evil. Earthquakes, future days, world's upheaval. It's your last chance to clarify your evil. Think with your spirit, now it's home serene.
I'm drawn towards the compelling battle of all there is. Armageddon, and if you escape, my life's within his. Through residence and hearts, yo, this kid is a whiz. Chance penetrate space of time because that is my biz. I've carried on, passed away, but yet I exist. Glimpse at Pandora's box into history. I was a catalyst, static kiss strategically upon a snowfall shaded horse. Even a less darkened rider delivers life and bodily divorce. Global intercourse, remorse, mass population misery. A memory of me, how could it be so renewed in a mental tapestry? Spray painted pictures, and the gold exploits the mean. Would bad transform to worse, tell the tale of a prophet's dream. Third rock feast on flesh as it destroys the labor of a builder. Finish the works of Charles Manson, Bundy, and Adolf Hitler. The grand finale, my pen pal documented what transgressed. Unfortunate the rapture, it only took the Holy Spirit's blessed. Not best to equal rights, regardless of pigmentation. Guess has caressed, eliminate Aristotle type contemplation. Chaotic clutter strikes the ground, we approach destiny. King of king and lord of lords, tattooed on person for all to see. My legions forge rivers great, through deserts we ride. With sunrise, blazes on my eyes, crown corner. My name's my disguise. Armies of heaven equipped in superior battle instinct. Plus the fate has been outlined, my presence begins as closing link. Feathered scavengers to wait bloodshed, angelic figures block light. We fight in the night till the delivery of the false prophets in sight. Ignite the lake of sulfur and prepare all sport in the 666. Flow littered with remains of our victory, birds gorged, stir the mix. Put to rest with the weapon of nations, occasions where grass is greenest. For sword from the mouth and revelations, not from the genius. To her duty at its end, accomplished all in specification. That our judge the second death into the earth awaits my ovation. Last installment of the book of life, can this be found put to letter? Like a storm, the finish comes following the most violent of weather.
The great tribulation is evil. Earthquakes, future days, world's upheaval. It's your last chance to clarify your evil. Think with your spirit, now it's home serene. The great tribulation is evil. Earthquakes, future days, world's upheaval. It's your last chance to clarify your evil. Think with your spirit, now it's home serene.
I know you're peeping as I disturb my sleeping in a dark passage where jaws are filled with ashes. Dashes spark the fire that never burn out. The universe stands afraid of the turnout, but batteries low on my flashlight. I howl tonight despite consumption. No insight is a stereo bumping. Something obnoxious hoots from overhead. Pinpointing a dropped envelope of documents I haven't read. I use branches to let her open it, not knowing importance. Abundance suddenly awakens owls. Metal cases on prows, wetted by dry towels and Spartan helmets. Crack walnuts, need security from squirrels mischievous. It was a story told, no one believing us. At dusk the clock runs faster. I was punching through titanium, they were punching through plaster. For the master, task was done no matter the difficulty. Painful squeezes back in the mind from profanity. Like Susan Powder saying stop the insanity. I'll protect my card's surface like lamination. I'm all ears, while others are all conversation. Participation points awarded and mental images distorted. I was anointed on the day that I would eternally rest. Ask God in your heart and this day will be your best. I'd rather live in heaven with the great northwest. Life's river is mopped and people don't understand the thoughts that I concoct. When it all stopped, for some it began. Some live with God, some live with Satan.
Primary function of figurines being upright in posture. Foster exhaustion, stand alone visually as an imposter. A roster progression finally exceeding the crawl. Minute stall, but all in all 2 feet make it easier to fall. A walk with a hunch, balancing apparatus is grace. Result from crucifixion, wooden cross is the back brace. Visitation to chiropractor, the spinal massage. Skeletal structure weighted down, heavy with flaws. Hot like menopause, yet vanity's cooler than a glacier. Those fools make shorter like Cummings, but remain as limping fakers. Playmakers properly support, stand taller than Cro-Magnon. Investigate procrastinators upon location, I bag them, drag them downtown. Bail line test, didn't keep it straight. Denials interdimension, cause serpentine style to intoxicate. Like the tortoise, overcome society's prediction. Conviction keeps me in the race and I face amputating infliction. Existing at attention, can't relax the spiritual recliner. Treadmill burns, I want a tissue, rigged with the timer to frost my temperament. concentrate intensely on this event. Knees are bent, my mind is blank, but I don't know where it has went. Repetitive while I straddle, branding downfall, subconsciously regain footing, and iron on patches are all that labels me.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand. 5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand. 5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand. 5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
For 730 days I've existed without time. For 4 months I've resisted your mind, twisted in rhyme. I manifest in a circular fashion, like the curvature of your spine, bent over from years of pain, destitute in your brain. My eyes feel your slant, walking upright but you can't. These months of using equipment have left me distant. Technology of the instant, internet thieves, they battle on web TVs, all the while becoming more crippled. This rhyme merely a ripple, son, you're still seeing triple. I can't concentrate for my ankles, Lord support me with angels. My backbone bent at impossible angles. The scripture holds my cure. For sure I hope to be made pure, but at times rhymes lack that certain quality. So I continue my search, reserved, but for my back still hurts. Years of head spins and freezes, forcing my body to do what my mind pleases.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand. 5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
Nervous habit cracks my knuckles, my knees buckle, pass me my cane, holding up my body and brain, wheelchairs for the insane, crooked like a politician, a dead man walking, a cast for bones broken, props to the chiropractor, massaging my back, or which one's more important, I can't put my finger on it, a component, looking at my shoe, I question what to do, I'm not asking you, but what's your opinion, just add in, organize my confusion, eliminate this problem to nothing, thank you, it's hard on my calf, when I walk others laugh, who's laughing now, this is how I replenish to establish where I was and where I am, I fall again, but now I got crutches, my hunches disappear in the mist, walk on when I rock on, kids.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Moving within the true circle.
5 elements hot to take a b-boy stand.
Transportation, evangelism, techniques conditioned explicit upon my mission, discipline, and styles of witness, the lyrical fitness. No, I'm not physically gifted, mysterious in my semantics, delirious in my static antics, capable of microphone techniques, obliterating poisonous theories, lines of parallel steering, nearing the future at an alarming rate with secret styles. I'm disarming hate in a society theocratic, view me as the anti-asthmatic, conquering the lack of lyrical breath with a spiritual depth that's unseen by most. It's the dream of the host, going towards the past. Evil evades my raps, the anointing pervades my paragraphs. Twin stories that are always in constant motion, never intersecting with compulsion, promoting spiritual well-being, leading the blind to a realm of seeing through dreams of rainbow colors, emitting light to the darkened others, a candle in the space of time, dimensional emotions in rhyme, the climb of post-deconstruction era, area of reduction, despairing the lines, a story in a pair of conclusive moments, relate the mystery through studio
With frustration of a pollution, eliminate retribution, a saint of confusion, stepping then you're cruising for a bruising illusion, historically philosophical meditation over the legendary Lord, continuing his creation. I cause abrasion to your surface without purpose, you know you earn this, levitating, concern this page in a cage, and then I learn this, head wash from infancy, preventing the practice of hand creation. I grapple with voice crazy, reach past all expectation, and take it underground, beat down them ancient kung fu flicks, indulge as I spit, no defense from my roundhouse kick, through sheets of glass I admit new age students have too quick. And as landlord, all whack MCs, I'm an evict. While snatching pebbles out the masters, handcrafters and ghetto blasters. A medallion, battalion, like white waters that flow faster. Maybe a pastor over beats, tightening black belt around the hip. Equipped so not to slip, tripping EQ boosts the script. Sure, out of curiosity, what's next on the menu? Even after we're gone, Ninjutsu's legend is gonna continue.
Turmoil, chicken broth will boil, true aluminum foil to twist the brew. Come ninjutsu, breaking boards over my forehead, getting slivers. Cutting up your green paper like scissors. Only in the art of martial, I get hostile, but keep my coordination versatile. Up and down perpendicular roundhouses, swinging circular with meditation. Leads a deep concentration, a chopstick fly catching. I'll be hitting with my stripes like a zebra. After my prey like a cheetah, hawking like Hebrew. The Hebrew, call your head an egg and become an egg beater. So it's scramble, ramble, but never nonsense. It's like a Julius, getting smoothie, flows oozing from my mouth in the tournament. I got swift kisses stacking it, coming instant to the groin. You get chopped like sirloin with my nunchucks. My sweet and sour pork will make you up chuck. When I say heads up, you're supposed to duck, but suit yourself, I run like stealth. And the smart Alec remark, I spark a fresh mouthpiece and unleash the feast, tearing flesh off bones of my enemy. Ain't it bizarre? I cover your body with talk and make a statue. I chew, still hawking like Hebrew after ninjutsu. Burning nickel ads and sporting PMS pads. So potentially mentally spacey, doing splits without a voice crack. I balance beam my attack, backflip, kung fu fighting. Better yet, running over you like Eric Rhett, no sweat. Yes, I'm sure. Are you assured? I'm getting in you. Just a preview of what I can do. Who's the next? So let the legend continue.
Stairway, confusion, repulsion, my manic depressive compulsion, the revulsion upon my 9 planets, spherical form, substandard communication systems and satellites, and all I got is fight light, slap boxing with self, high chest for wealth, sipping black tea and stealth, jacking wax spins with Jackson, rocking the Mecca with smoke, my mind becoming a joke, the manifesto in Russian, complex defects of my percussion, the discussion of an invasion foreseen by Prussians. I see you can't comprehend this, and that was intended. Mannerisms deflected and visions, desperate decisions, improper by deflection. My selective recollection has me in sections. I know not where I am, winding past, confused my past. My head is clouded and fast, can prayer escape, relate. My eye removed by fate, erase this taste. My mouth, myself awakes, finally becoming chaste. Favor cannot be found, ILLTripp 1, son, definition of underground.
If I sin with my words, then I must cut out my tongue. If I sin with my eyes, I must gouge them out one by one. If I sin with my hands, I must amputate accordingly. If I sin with my mind, I must receive a lobotomy. Old Testament truths, if I followed, I'd disintegrate. In the blood from the Son of Man, physical parts regenerate. Never remove but paraphrase. Try to envision metaphor, words spoken, broken down, way past religion. Incision incorporated, restoration before the act. Never double cross from above, there's promise within the pack. Flat lines in crunch time, effort appraised commodity. Bear me 6 feet into life over this community. Constant confliction, switch to mission, infrared detect heat. We don't conform to what works, I stand face to face with defeat. In a weak moment of survival, I pray not from loss but found hope. Stay inclined, walking chin up while treading on a down slope. Cope with what's described as any last ditch attempts. Miss what installs wickedness and fast from impulsive intent. Considering it went sour from first bite, eating unsupervised. Pursued a good life initially, no need to be surprised. Chaos theorists predict the worst and it involves our very core. Desperately enacting and backing a mindless spore. To score, to withstand, to endure, to elevate. Willpower used to exceed lust, arrogance and hate. Wait for blue sky and head dominion. By opinion there's no fault. Whatever went through forgiveness is the release from the vault. Exalt pillar of salt, new writtens inspired through revival. Exercise needed to burn fat tracks, dispose flesh bridle. So I run a mile 10 times and rhyme purity a current affair. Preparing to hear for righteousness, no measure will be spared.
I'm gripping life with arthritis. I go to touch what's covered with asbestos. Self-alert cause the risk is enormous. When soul's hygiene spreads hepatitis. Secondhand smoke causes laryngitis. Developing big green chunks of mucus. Jesus is my advocate. This is what God consulted. My direction of run when flesh is handcuffed and bolted. Adding towards the build-up that's faulted. It resulted in prevalence completed. Like snakes, skin shedded. Offered heavy-headed. Threaded without a needle. Turntable needle. On hand acting fetal. I hop sinking stones as they proceed lethal. Abstract denied and unfaithful procreation. I synchronize the assumption. The spirit depth defies gravitation, leaving the sky my insulation. My maneuver is just suffocation. Heimlich when recessive gusts make Adam's apple pop out your neck. I compact what indicates, chain off the thought that intimidates what other religions impersonate. In speech seminars that infiltrate, I face peers that interrogate. Out of context, knowledge used to obligate the soul while the flesh slides in oily. I outburst freely, disrupting the quality and the policy of progressive, expressive, and aggressive poetry. Young, convincing my understanding that's underlying on paraphernalia you're supplying. The outcome is unpredictable. My handwritten work isn't legible, but that's the aspect that makes it incredible. My motivation becomes a vegetable, striving only when it's seasonable. So now I begin to strive off only what's reasonable.
So much confusion, so much confusion, so much confusion, so much confusion.
With 2 turntables and some headphones, clones with dead tones, magic mic techniques displayed, but rather oblique. You see me rocking a Walkman upon the streets.
I expose photographic, ecstatic lines of rhythmic words of wisdom, not prophetic but energetic flows entering to your system. And I'm first to declare ourselves upon higher ground, so the underworld of lost souls shall not degrade our sound.
The ear you clip on, I pierce, and scarce words narrated. I'm body heat activated, I spark a session like Sophia with the boxcar. In the field of dreams like Kevin Costner, I boil your brain like a lobster.
Compounded elements, developments of vocal intensity, map the volume of liquid we spit to have acidic consistency. The lab click running some tests to find the verbal slugfest. Takes root where I live in the Northwest, my heart pounds inside my chest.
I feel the need to converge, leave you herbs disturbed. You have no skill, son, my name is ill. Touch the arm of a champ, test me and harm a whole camp, cause it's too deep. I manifest over cosmic beats on cheap Memorex tapes. I live in a cave with beat breaks and misplaced hate.
I crush phalanges, backhand like sand press, overhand like Agassi. I freeze brains like a Slurpee.
The listener shines through my kinetic energy. Alphabetic infamy, you have no history, so your future is just a mystery. I devastate aerobics, verbal gymnastics over slow hits with snares and kicks.
So much confusion, so much confusion.
With diluted, conclusive, unmotivated excuses, MC's verbal juices are held down rather than boosted. With exclusive production and metaphorical construction, I leave redundant percussion to internal combustion.
I slay you with the convicted torch in the orchard. I swing swords like Lancelot, like you tribal Rapala. Your brain is my attack spot.
I aspire Canadian capers, write rhymes and never use papers. A staple through your earlobe, I never fear throws. For verses overwhelming, disgrace severed shelving. For you can steal my words, for that's your nerve severed politely inside your brain. Believe me, son, cause I can stand the rain.
You are demonic, ILLTripp beats, I'm on it like herpes on your girl. It's funny to me, MC's ruling the world. I eat brains and then I earl.
Science is an excuse for the abuse of the truth. Goodbye to you youth, solve the problems at their roots.
Personally, my introduction's left to my coordination of sentence and vocabulary, unique association, affiliation with the gospel, but this is an invertebrate. But he had a flex with no direct, just letting my mind play.
But back to the story of your whackness. I contain molecules of touch fatness, supplied by effort and chair stress. I paid subway fares to suffer glares from the frostbitten, cause I can toss Britons and paragraphs and pages to your spiral. I'm viral, contagious.
So much confusion, so much confusion.
Condition response conductor, the confusion projector. I'm delayed cause I'm a fast text destructor. Mental conversation, MC your way out in a pool of pity. To me, your brain is just spaghetti.
You can't help but bite, I'm the reason you started to write. My mind is sealing your fate, based upon mistakes I create. We sold 400 tapes with me rapping over just one break that I found without a crate, son. You know I'm lying now.
A peace and calm state of mind currently is my arch nemesis. For the purpose of this flow is to put your brain into a mess. Entanglement and clarity in a blurred area of focus. Through music we mentor, your weakness only helps to promote us.
Render myself unconscious so I won't have to listen to you. Verses I throw away would have you twisting a few. I have faith and you're just wishing it's true.
Your old world style like Regu. Cut me off, I don't know what to do. Seize the opportunity, I'm out like Young MC. Get this mic out my face, I'm on vacation and your brain's in my suitcase.
What I spit is medicine and verbal content, meaning inspired from a divine origination, which lyrically I've acquired or been given as a gift. Now I uplift this way of life. Hip-hop's my culture, but my devotion solely to Jesus Christ.
Wannabe MCs are the worst part. For the first part is fine, but why does everybody wanna rhyme? You can't take this line for line, the story's intertwined. Mostly I just let my mind shine. What?
So much confusion,
Fireproof like beta fiber, my goatee foamed with saliva. Tablets of gunpowder, your carcass is a bird feeder. I move a savage like a bullfighter. I use you as a jackhammer stuck in my pile driver. I dry skin in my Bunsen burner, dampen the equator. This strikes me as a matter. This is your brain on drugs, brain and egg. I'm an egg beater, a survivor. Bring it to your sight like a strobe light. The night that's coming, I tear eyes like an onion. Paint you crimson, lonely like a prison. In the crumbling of the bread, the crumbling of your head, I analyze. A soul in a body that's paralyzed. Synthesized tones filled with static, automatic, tragic. In the treachery of my magic, my powers are in the wrong hand. My mic's my only friend. Got your head banging, corpses hanging from the ceiling. On an anchor, I fell for the core of the earth. Suicide can't hide the fade. Perplex spills his guts in a serenade.
Under a balcony, polyphony consistent of a rock sand casualty. Fables drop out my cipher. I deliver packages for Ted Kaczynski. MCs at home they quiver. Shiver from my breath, blizzard, a wizard of defeating. You wish you quit living yesterday as to avoid our meeting. Like the Necronomic in my lyrics are written in blood. Blood concrete MCs, converting them to mud. They ruled the crowd, but the crowd they fooled. In actuality, those heads got schooled. Grateful participants openly have confessed their loss while placing an apple upon my desk. Mess with Dr. Moreau in his island, disfiguring. These smiling super egos I begin reconfiguring. Digital patch base, flip both ways, neither pays. But underground is sanctified, is solving a maze on the first try. And still being overseen while spotlights fight hot mics. Held by the unclean, masters of catastrophes. They grins are toothless. My corrupt dentistry only operating ruthless. I'm more savage than Randy, special forces like Green Beret. Native to my jungle and you sacrificed by my wordplay.
In order to captivate your attention, I have applied a savage lesson, fever pitch by dimension, divide masterpieces by 11. My secret guarded, my own personal heaven, discovered by what you lost. An eternity of living the cross, subordinate to a blitzkrieg in Europe, firing warning shots and courage, sending bombs with hand craftsmanship towards Soviet turrets. What are speakers of a foreign tongue? Spider-Man's alter ego. Yes, I am the one, but I deliver something new to your mind's eye, something true to the blind spies. You never saw my encyclopedia of musical masterpieces. I outclass diseases, challenge you to a war of words. I destroy your sentence by the time you get to the verb. Other pages of phrases, of blurred manuscripts and ancient lexicon of the magnificence. I will end your emceeing charade, a soliloquy of a savage serenade.
Convert liberal art to a start. Let's see, are gonna be prepared, never scared because instinct overwhelms intently uncompared and never shared. Conventional leverage will trickle back. Our response is like a match, ignition upon the scratch. Catch wreck and a leg don't act. Expect a concert hall, gesture to a stall. Weather's grim, pack a parasol. My saliva monsoon consumes. Countries live in fear. A natural perspiration. I need a fiction pioneer. Make career decision moments division. Matter of the minute. I'm in it to the degree my precision. Can't find a limit. Definite, congruent. I'm fluent with camouflage conviction. Mixing, fixing fluid. Receptive, a premonition is my condition. Exist in audio realms, interrupt reality. Very time traps called slumber really begin to bother me. Hypnotic, no brain, hypotheses that observe constrictor. Swallowing the elixir, I separate into my gripper. Mouth-watering instrumental, just monumental. When players hit, I send Pavlov's dog to the kennel.
Cold source, pass out bliss stacks. I explode your appendix, crush your breastbone and cervix. Perplex, I test your reflex with a jackhammer to the deep tissue. My compatible issue, hit you, and at the same time miss you. Official, read the lyrics from my handy pistol. It looks like a BB, but it's really a missile. Dismissal, I'm programmed to acknowledge. Downhill like a ski lodge, make my day and dodge. The classic collage, I'm determined to disassemble. Act natural when the earth beneath you tremble. Example, I'm chill like an igloo, the place where I put you. Four quotes for ends, the best thing I can do for you. Prepare for conversational needs and pair of Nike Cortez. I shoot candy out my neck like Pez. Classic like kids. Use a pogo stick to play around on heads. Like Leprechaun. Bulldoze determination of your terminal. Decided to test the urine and all property. My t-shirt XXL. Ain't nobody stop me. Animosity through stupidity in the tavern. I burn like Lennon. Exploit your pattern. Reminiscent of flannel. Same outlook, different panel. Change the channel. Pour through the funnel. Exclusive juggling trainer. Rhymes like oxygen. Fill any container. I move the book like a strainer. You're no brainer. Got me hot like buffalo wings. Execute the kings and close out the exit. Leave you anorexic. Save it for the psychiatrist. Visit the systematic digest. I respond with liposuction on all simple-minded lyricists.
Train for
this since the day I was born. Word is born, verbally torn, enthusiastically scorned by those who live in the dark. Contrasting stark like walls in a park with no colors added. Polygons upon static, essence of arrival, discontinuing the suicidal, contemplating hypochondriacs. Not ill, devastation reacts, sticky situational facts. I do my math, relax, and beast is fat. Contracts are never needed. Grab the mic and I heat it. It's ingrained in my bone marrow, inheriting more than Egyptian pharaohs. Shield deflecting, flaming arrows manifest for taming terrors. Psychic phenomenon, modern day Babylon. I invade and destroy from early on. My power come from outside sources. The light life shattering like divorces, separating strengths from forces. My foes conquered by a third party, not by me nor partly dismantled at every turn. As I seek, I learn. It's my savior who supplies the power. The enemies are out, the earth is scoured. For a man of faith in my place, I stand thirsty for a drop of grace. Responding condition, I seek in God's face. Lord, allow the track to be laced, vocab properly spaced. Initially a battle-bred MC, now a conceptual marvel, an intellectual harbor. Let us form the mental capacity. Your soul, it contains a cavity. Let it be filled, condition, response. Some my vocabulary spill. What?
A long time ago, a long time ago, a long time ago, a long time ago.
The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming.
As my alter ego scales skyscrapers, I do ink spot tests on papers, looking for consequences to capers, building with my people, looking for my lesser equals, detailing plans for sequels. The fourth part becoming evil. The wind blows cold on my place, palaces based on faith. Imagination becomes my only escape, creating lyrical masterpieces in a land of diseases, filled with flies in a jar. Whose hand can hold the straw? Marking my commonplace, building takes upon mistakes, paving asphalt over concrete. I'm driving a big wheel Jeep in a land of Rolexes and Lexuses. Me and perplex hits with prototypical hip-hop theories. Never heard mind scan equipment, revealing and trapping distance. A temptation to join the plague of pretenders. I divide to become endless. This fighting has become cancerous. But answer this, who but me drops anonymous. Copy this and deliver on top of this. Filter my vocal strains and anesthetize the local pains. Brilliant as the architect, expect this plague to reverse in retrospect. Original, but it's still complex. Complication of sickness. My video focus upon the thread thickness. Since this mysterious Egyptians, I've been building pyramids of inscriptions to fend off the plague and its magicians. Wordsmith in total action before your shield is unfastened.
The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. Omega slash like Vega, rough for Pegasus. Got Wabash for an Ivy, my lyrical Benigri. Precise to the sun on the balcony, specific. Engineered for the master ceremony. My executionary tactics extraordinary. Thought through original definition. I got ninja intuition that takes you posture during intermission and flip flop you in that fear position. You start screaming submission. All aspects affect my decision. I do special effects with your vision. The mission, fire when ready, my torpedo. I walk through a tornado, but still leave you heading for rotation. Eyes in the back of my head make the prediction. Time elapses, clock collapsing, speed immeasurable. Your fat is body soluble, contaminated, controllable. All valuable belongings and possessions turn to be the subject of my session. I'm the messenger, I injure every distinction in your sector. Suck you for your nectar, and use you as a visual in my lecture. I cut like a director, my texture, plentiful in the playlist. Like Alice, as you wanted my dream MC cremation. Fills jars to distribute, people bang my debut. I'm accused, shoot lead from the favorite Castell. With slash tell the bottom line. Sign next to your corporate design, I redefine things with symbolism. Having a staring contest with realism. Realism. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming. The plague comes through storming, it's like locusts swarming.
Burn to the third degree like gasoline over explosion. Epidemic, metamorphosized, outbreak from the Ebola. DNA chain unraveled, internal bleeding floods the stomach. Paint red the door of your dwelling. Swelling hunger near the summit, feeling warm I swarm. 9/11 was the emergency, triangular form and sign of fire. Combat strategy assimilated by the Borg, spreading cybernetic gangrene, creating monotonous thought. Now that reality's a dream, I seem to suffer insomnia as a matter of time. Locus focus inside the flesh, decaying rapid the rebel mind. I attack communities as I&E, infectious wonder. Virus capabilities with metronome, astounding thunder. Poetic quarantine, purifying beats like Britta. Microphone faucet, you lost it and nobody likes a quitter. If globe is dumb, try and run, but we're surrounded. You got numbers, we got promise from above on which we're founded. Impounded exceptions, cure a failing system. Regardless of strength, my brain cells are made of krypton. I spy any plague spreading concept without cause. Proportional success rate absorb, overflow with God's. My laws of physics are involved in scriptural notation. Bacterial disease, fit for biblical extermination. Reaching entire populace, trust no other antibiotic. Airborne transmission spreads Jesus' name as a melodic.
It's like locust swarming, the plague comes through storming. It's like locust swarming, the plague comes through storming. It's like locust swarming, the plague comes through storming. It's like locust swarming, the plague comes through storming. It's like locust swarming.
A long time ago. A long time ago. A long time ago. A long time ago.
Naturally and maternally starving but not hungry. Patiently evolving from light of dawn to light of stars. I'm solving the arrival and forthcoming of my prey. My prey is not a victim, helps me make it through the day. For civilization, the saying Lord all appeal. Who gathers the outcasts of Israel. Whimsical views from all that's holy. Immorality, mortality is hunted. I'm redundant, perhaps looking in the classics. Pedestrian crossing. Hoping there's prey by cause of reckless driving. Depriving, until then or until forever. Rumbles in the crowd and clever. The mysterious flesh always says never. But whether or not this trial fills my stomach, it's my destiny, that's why I want it. He blesses food during daytime confession. It takes 3 meals a day for me to learn my lesson. Without breakfast I fatigue, important meal of the day. And it's concession stand, wet knees kneel down in sand. Now my tactics revealed to the damned. I chew the fat with closed hand, to the fat of the land. My plans live in the woods without bother. Many make this home a den of robbers. It continuates everlasting like gobstopper. Closing in like stormtroopers with rifles. Abusing praying techniques of the 12 disciples. Chronicles with chief priests and scribes. Rumor and negative vibes. As long as I regurgitate what he shared, he'll save lives. Beyond 100 years, eternally bathed in Jesus' shed blood and tears.
Practice, expert, introvert, exercise, maintain a stable, swap skill over achievement, credit tools, hardest ranking, specimen for species, keep these conversations maximum, gaze at the sun, gain ultraviolet experience that's never done, inhabited of someone, choice wasn't mine, I signed a waiver, no matter this ecology, places importance upon the savior, I got a flavor for meat, still I remain a herbivore, store carnage upon the altar, and then I knock on heaven's door, expenditure to the primal, vital signs of suicidal, tendency towards the final, emperor of earthly idols, worship poaches of gratitude, dilute the appeal of our prey, stay without nutrients for too long, and the soul will wilt away. I lay my head, I shut, enter the throne's resplendence. Entire body armor, I stand, a warrior in God's presence. Dependent on free will, so not to fear in dark fell hours. Ridicule these threats of school, symbolizing my power. I see signs of fresh tracks, will I catch a game in this habitat? The reply is that I must adapt, take on sight as a bat. Sonic energy questions fly head on, reception scoping, food chain. I hunt parables until my vision's at last open.
Knees to the pavement, ensuing the in-mind enslavement, pursuing what the grave meant, life abundant through changes, calling on grace, applying lessons of faith, learned at the feet of scholars. My gain is not of dollars, collars of the word, my heart, my nerve, so bad to be heard, an audience with perfection, listening for correction, it's the audio selection, remain in stasis, trying to see who faith is, seeking faces, my prayer basis, I seek to be in contact, peacetime combat, developing strength for times of weakness, the outside world is at its bleakest, this is my oxygen, on an earth filled with toxic winds, without it is my execution. I may sustain persecution or I may lead a revolution. Christ becomes my bread, practicing what's been read. Regardless of what's been said, I envelop myself. This is water to my health, to be alone with my God, to seek the throne with my cause, to reflect, genuflect, and to pause with my face in the dirt. My aggressions, confessions, and hurt, this is my life. Pray for rays of light, speaking this in the name of the one and only Christ.
Your simple words just don't move me. Your
simple words just don't move me.
Perplex the cerebration bizarre.
Your simple words just don't move me.
Mentors from Aurora, stick figures.
Your simple words just don't move me. Your simple words just don't move me.
Come on. Blood rush to the heads, the plasma fall. No dietary substance, no center like when a peach is pitfall. It's substantial and simultaneously beneficial for concepts and dimensions to be gradual. About many simple albums they want at the funeral. Putting hip hop under depression like alcohol. Many give worldwide recognition through their credential. Cause if I sit long enough to flip the hourglass, directly after that flip the tape that won't last. It's my mind that decides the product's deletion and part of the past. Think fast, history class, another century. England saw Shakespeare plays 10 times to understand it totally. That was the beginning of poetry. You couldn't capture the moment. Flying tomatoes make you part of a spaghetti sauce component. It's all changed cause now we award the opponent. Instead of making them zip the lip and reticent. It's all composite. Imagine being proud of that independent. Not exposing your picture long enough for proper development. Your offerings your insight, that transaction ain't legitimate. I make each verse special like a sacrament. Not even a co-defendant would be obedient. Some diss the West Coast, but their style ain't even omniscient. The style obituary merchant got my tape in the observatory. Under the microscope configuring the anthropology. My knowledge is facial lithography. Cough real on your face, now can you feel me? Stick figures, come on. We're born.
Your simple words just don't move me. 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 Your simple words just don't move me.
Stones, I breaking bones, disconnecting limbs. You stick arm as my club velocity hums a psychotic hymn, a cataclysm. I break the law to make the law man into mine. Dictatorship, I'm held with the whip. You better quit while you're still fine. It's a crime to counter contact, thumbtack through forehead, hang in my room. Prune stick figures as I'm delivering the message of doom to your platoon at Alafia. Together we found a crew, recruit terror, chaos, and destruction, busting your thoughts in two. How far you on your day off? That's what you get for taking a break. Your vampire craving my blood, but my lyrics form a wooden stake. Take the artist crucified, momentarily die, but my motivation, psychological egoism escaped him. I'm caught in hesitation. You like claymation, easily remodeled. I mutate to recreate. Now ain't no Polaroid can put perspective on my estate. Mentally overweight and symbolically, I'm computer animation. Amid sick figures, expressing the one-sided imagination.
Your simple words just don't move me. 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 Your simple words just don't move me.
Two-dimensional figurines like depth and conceptual themes, head on a stick. My belief conveys dreams, your handheld theories are simply paper thin, divide and conquer. Within the tapered wind, another lack of depth. Your tape is viewed with contempt, skills and all are on display. You're a fresh MC, you just got nothing to say. I could reverse this trend, basics to advance to the end. Raps about materialism is bills, my television. There seems to be no discussion upon your percussion. Just women, linen, money and cussing. I appreciate your busting, but your trust and security lapses. What happens to raps if the economy collapses at another dimension? And that's one of a messages tempted to go out without any art, without applying your heart. But limb from limb you're torn apart, lacking all importance from the start. Beginning at the ending, I see stick figures pretending while we convey knowledge of biblical proportions. Pop hit contortions have resulted in dimensional absorptions. From 3 come 2, length and breadth. Go back to your notebook and locate depth.
Don't move me.
Some don't have the ability to artistically relocate a story and narrate the novel they lived recently. Effortlessly they MC. Their bad reputation reflects off me just cause we're in the same industry. Plus you didn't make that album with $1,000 machinery. I attack on low budget weaponry, but my skills make up for an originality. Yo, ill what you got cooking on the SP. My visionary vocabulary placed in rhyme pattern for victory. Seriously, anybody can make an LP, so I make mine and won't leave you empty. Not the connominee, the denominating scenario. By no means do I encourage you to disrespect your stereo. I unlock the magic like Oreo and overwhelming like breathing 20 feet underwater with a 3 feet snorkel. Travel any port to capture the flag. When I touch the mic, it's pause like this was freeze tag. Marking my own price tag. Money don't make you a lyricist. I'm talking to you while you pumping your fist. How many MCs must I diss? Happens every album and I'm tired of this. The underground secret ballad. Well, me and MCs in the same nutshell. First my mallet. I'd rather dip in the palette. My mic, my paintbrush, the voice, the texture. Add the beat to the scenery, add mood to the mixture. Touching for the colored pencil, dude. Your sequence begins to emasculate like children's glue. Intrude, you got no point like a spear. I'm the needle shooter with the coders. You draw with a stencil. Following breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Some don't have a degree of depth in their mental. They shouldn't be talking through the metal or releasing by the deadline. I'm tired of spending cash for negativity in a punchline.
I sit in a room as a student, but my thoughts walk door. I pick a room to unlock while some blocks it's ongoing transparent war. Or like in preservation of virtue, would it hurt to dig a little deeper? You don't tell me something worth my time, how about making your tape a little cheaper? Don't separate concept from the MC, avoiding the aspect. My message is salvation, what's yours? Don't settle for just the mic check. Let the seismograph hit the peak, thus breaking the Richter. Don't leave me staring at a painting, cause you claim to be a 3D picture. So the dimension speaks the worth of the pandemonium and ceremony. Seek eudaimonia from our problem, then relate, translate through Sony. If that's beyond comprehension, try this extension of me. Past all pointless junk, I find reason in he. Nail the cavalry, with nothing left from which to draw strength. You left only harm and misprogressive rhetoric, nothing for me to eat. So now I'm starving, tangible death eclipsed the sun, the shell escorted to burial site. Though the soul's eternal, it gave them refuge from their fright. Despite obvious prediction, affliction, a mindless addiction will rock, decay, stop, third day, resurrect, breaks their tradition. My style's colored out of the lines, connect mind to intertwine, read the signs against the grind, retaliate to where we shine.
Your simple words just don't move me. Your simple words just don't move me.
You wanna hear something else?
Deeply inhale through nostrils, exhale at a slow pace. I can't strike back lest I'm threatening more than emotional disgrace. It's a taste test. Do I have total self-control? Dictator of my domain. I block your shot, it's time to go. As I show, I earned every last thread of this black belt. Retaliation is felt. Your brain develops so well. I'm defending the self of other respectful ninja artists. Though in the past, like a style, has made some an easy target. My word disfigures spinal cords. Serenity now, my pen is mightier than your sword. In the stone, don't take that tone. I'm full blow without neon lights. Your words are slept on like bones. Your tape is only played in the nights. Aggression to fight, despite my instinct, this is only in defense. Compelled to battle tournaments consisting solely of pretense. An invitation to my school, be introduced to my sensei, the one teaching me to be neither the predator or prey. 10 martial commandments posted into the spiritual. Plan is diggable, metaphysical, Jesus Christ performing miracles. Hysterical to see kids starting much more than they can handle. Locating my palm for hours, fixed just above a candle. Wearing sandals and molten lava, I don't even high step. I swim the front crawl, but not at all to increase my rep. Rather yet exercise the blessing of living's submission to a primal era, where a metaphor represents me.
You wanna hear something? You wanna hear something? You wanna hear something?
Open my chamber, release a tsunami. Whirlwinds voluntary through meditation tunnels. Absent-minded orderly. My opportunity don't knock it, just walk. Make yourself at home, take off your coat. I wrote the orbit to hit the bottomless pits. Spit modern and dauntless. Prudent cautious with the roster. Projecture the poster. My roaster, burn, baby, burn. Colonel Sanders hit recipe. Out of energy, this is jeopardy. Forget the jargon. I crunch like abdomen, just a specimen. Epidemic. Only relax the taste of all medicine. Cure it, postpone the clarity. Prosperity, style royalty. Cover my field like a safety. Safety, my journey, you karate. Paraphernalia in the body. Mongo's potty. Don't flush it, touch it. With latex pocket protectors. Quick quabbas. You nervous? I'm a savage on the surface. My purpose is self-defense. You're facing. I tweet MCing like ninjutsu to an Asian.
You wanna hear something? You wanna hear something? You wanna hear something?
You see, verbally, I can kick you in the shins, but I'ma say it again. Back for the defense of the gospel, towards attackers hostile. Ninja apostles, caustic karate. The standard subpar is not me. Say a form manuscript, allow my technique to trip. Reverb deluxe, essence destructs, influx. My sensei instructs me in rules of self-defense. My health intense, mental exercise and effortless asteroids. Contemplating computer androids devoid of my communication. Kung Fu tiger style concentration. Practice techniques for spiritual warfare. My tendency to store pairs for further review. It's like a drum kit preview. I see 7 stars in my sleep. I can feel attacks through beats. I battle back. I write another paragraph to manifest the math. Calculus is used as my weapon. Devastation within my steps when I can reverse heel kick. I feel swift. My skill is measurable. Coffee shops, please, you can touch me not. Defense is what's been taught, but should you strike, you best prepare to strike me twice as my face rotates so you can punch the other side. I remain unfazed in stride. Keeping codes of kindness. Self-defense is what I use on all you blind kids.
You wanna hear something? 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 You wanna hear something?
express myself on prototypes, defective microchip within a circuit board of data. I manifest as a glitch. Without my presence, he could live in complete peace. When the joints begin to rust, I withhold all of the vital grease required to smooth the motor skills in his analyzing process. Restrain him not from eating life, but from the ability to digest. To consume material, I'm located within the skull. When actions which I disagree approach, my shockwave power's full. Invest in titanium, only one thing can elude my influence. Strength from the inventor of the cyborg and dedication with incongruence. My willpower named temptation, elevation to stimuli. Disconnect modem at 12 o'clock, cause that's when noon becomes high. I grasp competition, my missions, and commence to beckon. Guessing I'll gratify the multiply. He and I engage like Tekken. I'm decking the job, only goodness leads the scene, so I prevail. Hack away the keyboard, set the tone, shadow strike and set the sail. Light speed of the next section of the mind, never let his guard be raised. Unaware of my presence, and now his eyes are glazed. Faced by distraction, a reaction of binary information. Ones and zeros, my Morse code locked down by sensory invasion. I've existed before Lucifer's uprising to downfall. Sure a beat before, but it's rare. I lost King Saul and Paul. Forget the one that got away. I have success more than imagine. Antagonists, I battle faith. But yo, I hate it when it happens. My strength is drained like in the desert. This guy refused my generosity. He was starving out for food, only wanted to kneel to ask me. He was an offspring of my nemesis, would have been a worthy advantage. Now through his name's the only way that prototype can do me damage. I appreciate recognition, but death is all I wish to maintain. A more than audible description, I hear my many different names. The brain is my playground, swing under bendings, the spine's my slide. I'll confide in you that I'm the rip within the ocean's tide. As water rushes to reshore, I reverse gravitation. My voice invades tranquility to instigate a rational vacation. Satan's my spotlight, I'm more. He is just my front, the actor, but I'm the writer. From a master, he does my stunts. He was the first and best victim, now many have the honor I feel. The first domino in the pattern, including Judas at the last meal. Real redemption can kill, but majority don't believe my dark people. I have no thoughts, feelings, or reasons. I'm unveiled as shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine. Shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine.
The shadow consolates and confiscates what's rational and stretches the truth on purpose. Every step the shadow's with us and outlines the proof of me being 3D. But in return for this, he takes advantage of me. It seems I've made this job too easy. I'm versatile like Henry Mancini. Cover my ears with a scully woolly, loosen up in a wife beater. I wrestle conclusions naked in bark, dust, and cedar. In my conscience, the corn on his sound. I can't communicate to destroy him cause he's always around. His word a hoax, it pokes my eyes out and puts my liquid flow in a water drought. Collaborated on my plans, it's an evil twin. He sews me up and unravels me within. This is done to my skin, but it affects my soul, making my body shaking, affecting my mic control. I find myself taking a punching bag and beating the sand out of it. It did nothing for me, the crocation wouldn't quit. I lit lights in pitch dark area while the shadow laughs. Psst, over here I'll bury ya. I carry on hard times, they make me break down like enzymes. When it shines, it makes my prayers brief. Stealing my goodness, he's a thief. Underneath what's not visible to the mind, ripping holes in mankind like hairspray in the ozone. I'm frozen and can't confront my problems key. He's done this to every member in my family tree, making these actions part of my biography. The bibliography of references got me counting on inferences. I must be gullible. The shadow makes self-abuse lovable, and his presence won't disperse, making this world bad headed towards worse. He puts Polaroids in contact of manipulated females, showing up in short skirts. I'll leave out the details. He's got my counterpart on hostage in a mental mosh pit. Part of the action is the infection in the product. The shadow ducks before I reach my senses. In my defense, the timeline he constructs. When man is on the brink to self-destruct, I confirm the fact I'm also guilty. Waking up with a cleansed soul and I find it filthy. What rules everything around me? In Christianity, I grade my own stance. Each time I turn my head for the second glance, my perception is a form of helpless, knocking myself unconscious. I look at my wrist, he's caught up and involved. It's cause I was asking the shadow how the problem could be solved. How the
shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine. Shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine.
As I return from forever, my mind and yours melt together. See my innermost view upon the sinner's ghost, elevated the planet status, persona non gratis. The batter shadows try to be the fattest. Pride it seems creeping in from this to what I'm sleeping in. Standard warfare describe my finishing touch. Plus I strive for what's plush, the adrenaline rush of stave diving into a sea of human trust. My mental crushed, it must be the beginnings of rust. I rush to find the light, shadows of the night. Through the darkness I crawl, I hear the call of my fears install. If I fall, will y'all still call and ask for beats? To my knees, in the corners I seek those places of deceit, the things which defeat any witness that I speak. The shade is bleak, I search for the sun's rays. I find my eyes for some ways on Mondays to return to old plays a failure. Luxury is my shadow's name. No, the game is one of blame. Secret sins must be tamed all the same. To focus on the main aim of my calling. Still in the shadows I worry about falling.
Shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine. Shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine. Shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine. Shadows in life, shadows of the mind, created in those who try to feel the light shine.